We're doing is talking about modal arpeggios. And I think this is really important for you to understand because so often we get confused on what modes are and what they sound like and how we would use them, all that sort of thing. And there's so many different levels on how to make something musical, how to apply it in a musical sense. And so what I thought we would do today is maybe just look at each individual mode and how it applies to the chord itself so you can hear the sounds. So let's say we're in G major. Okay, so I'm going to play a G major scale here. And let me preface by saying this. If you don't know anything about modes, this is not the place to start, okay? So this is assuming that you already understand, modes, you understand what Dorian is, that sort of thing. And so I'm going to give you some insight as we go through this, but understand that, all your modes obviously are based off the parent major scale, the parent diatonic scale, in this case being G major. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to take that G major scale and let's look at the seventh chords that are created out of that. So for instance, we would get G major 7, and then we would get A minor 7. That would be the 2 chord. And then we would get B minor 7. Okay. Then we would get C major 7. And then we would get D dominant 7th. And then we would get E minor 7. And then we would get, and it's hard to finger this all the way up here, but this would be an F sharp diminished, right? F sharp half diminished. Okay? And then we'd be back on G. So we're getting G major 7, A minor 7, B minor 7, C major 7, D 7, E minor 7, and then F sharp diminished. F sharp half diminished. So the thing to understand here is what makes a mode sound like a mode, right? Well, there are certain characteristics for each mode, and that is usually like a note that is different. So let's say, for instance, if we were playing G major, okay, G major gets the root, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and then the root again. If we were playing G Lydian, for instance, G Lydian would be a raised 4. And that's what gives it its sound, is the fact that it has this raised 4th in it. So every mode has a distinct difference between each one. So if we think about this, I always like to compare apples with apples. So the major modes we can compare to each other, and the minor modes we can compare to each other, okay? So for instance, if we were playing, let's just do this super quick so you understand what I'm doing. So G major, I'd get, if I was playing G Lydian, I'd get the raised 4. If I was playing G Mixolydian, I'd get the flatted 7. Okay, so I'm looking at G major and simply flatting that 7. That's how I would get Mixolydian. If I was looking at minor, for instance, let's go up to the relative minor, in this case E minor, and if I was playing E natural minor or E Aeolian, I'd get 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, relative to the major, of course, but, and then 1, or relative to major. So if I wanted Dorian, I would have to raise the 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I wanted Phrygian, I'd have to just flat the 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so just subtle differences between those. Now, if we're playing in the key of G major, all of this is happening naturally because we're always using the notes G major, G, A, B, C, D, E, and F sharp, okay? So if I play G major, I get G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and then G again. If I play A Dorian in the key of G major, I get A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A. It's the same notes, right? Nothing's changing. It's the same notes. So you always have to remember when you're talking about modes, either you're talking about it in the context of a parent scale, or you're talking about them kind of as A being against each other, like Phrygian, in kind of a parallel thing. So you're looking at G major versus G Lydian. Well, we're going to be looking at all of this in simply G major. So if we take those 7 chords I just played you, and we kind of grow them out and look at all of the intervals that each one has, we can hear the mode that is deriving from each one of those. So for instance, let's take G major. Again, G major 7, you know, whatever it is you're thinking of there. But that major 7th is very, very powerful because it defines the sound of that Ionian or major scale, right? That major 7th. So let's go ahead and make an arpeggio out of this. So what we're going to do is we're going to go the root, the 3rd, the 5th, the major 7, and right there are the notes of the G major 7. We're going to keep going here. We're going to go up to the 9th, the 11th, the 13th, and then the root all over again. So what's really great about learning how to think about this way is you can hear all of the notes that culminate this G major, G Ionian sound. It also teaches you to think about each interval so you understand root 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9th, or 2nd, right? 11th is the 4th, 13th is the 6th. So when you're playing, instead of just soloing and always thinking about doing that, you can think about those sounds that you're creating. And really, if you want to add in the sound of that major 7, or that 9th, whatever it would be, as opposed to just playing up and down inside that scale. So it's great for visualization, it's great for theory understanding, and for tonality, being able to listen to this and really hear the sound of that. Because as we go through each one of these, they're going to have their own unique sound. Let's look at the next one. We have A minor. Okay? The mode that exists here, we're in the key of G major. We're playing the 2nd mode, which is A Dorian. So when we play this, we've got ourselves the... I'll just play it for you first here, just so you can hear this. So I'm playing 5, 8, 7, 5, 9, 7, 7, and then 5. Now what am I playing? I'm playing the root relative to the A here. Root, minor 3rd, 5th. There's my 7th, my flat 7, my 9th, my 11th, okay, and then my 13th or my 6th, and this is the big one, because when we think of Dorian, we always think of that major 6 sound, right? Well, this, we can see it right there, so we've got our minor arpeggio with our flat 7 there. So as we see those, we could start trying to visualize the minor chord, and maybe add that 6th in there. And as we're soloing, visualizing those notes, and also hearing the sounds that encompass this and make it sound like Dorian, which is super cool. Okay? The other thing I want to mention to you too is when you're doing this, what's kind of cool is, and you got to kind of visualize this, but as you're playing each one of these, what you're really doing is you're kind of utilizing the notes of the chord that you're on and the next chord that's going to be reoccurring, right? So if we go back to G major here, let me just show you this. So we're back on G major. And you're going to have tab for all this, of course. So if we look at that, I'm playing a G major chord, and I can see that right here in the bottom half, right there. But if I look at the top half, those notes right there, those notes are creating an A minor 7 chord, which is what's coming up next. And when I play the A Dorian arpeggio, okay, I can see the A minor 7 right down here. But if I play the top part, it's creating a B minor 7, okay? And however you like to play B minor 7. right? But that's what it's creating. So it's kind of cool because each one of these arpeggios are actually creating the parent chord, whatever that is, and then the secondary chord that's coming up next. So you can kind of see both of those happening at the same time. And so a nice way to try and learn to listen to this as you do each one is play a few notes. Like if I took, right? Now I can only do so much with my fingers here, but so if I took this, you really get a sense of that Ionian sound. Or if I go to Dorian and do the same thing, okay, and I can start exploring those sounds over the top and get a sense of what Dorian really needs to sound like Dorian, okay? So again, you know, you only have so many fingers to do this, but you get the idea to try and really listen to each one. So it's not just a matter of learning what I'm showing you and just memorize the tab, but really listen to these and see how they're working for you. So we move up to B minor. Now we're in B Phrygian, right? Because Phrygian would be the third mode. So as I play this, so I'm playing 7, 10, 9, 7, 10, 9, 8, 7, okay? So it's obviously based off B minor 7, but the big thing with Phrygian, if you know anything about Phrygian, is it's got the flatted 2. Well, we can hear that right there. And then there's the rest of our chord there, because we're playing the root, minor 3rd, 5th, flat 7. There's our flat 9, 11, 13, minor 6 is what that is, and then the root again. So as we listen to this, you see, we can really hear the sound of that Phrygian by kind of playing some of those intervals over the root itself. You know, it's quite strange sounding. The other thing too is again, looking at this, the bottom half, there's my B minor 7 chord, and when I get here, the top half is actually creating a C major 7, which is what's coming up next. So I move to 7, now I've got my C major 7 happening here. Now, what happens on this 4th chord? Well, this is Lydian, so we got the sharp 4. Okay, so are we getting that sound as we play this arpeggio? It's right there. There's your sharp 4. So we've got the root, the 3rd, the 5th, major 7, 9. There's the 11th right there. Okay, it's a major 11 or sharp 11. And there's the sound of our Lydian. Very pretty sound. Okay, you just got to, whoops, sorry, C. You just got to explore these a little bit. But you can make some really nice sounding chords as well out of this stuff. So there's that. Then we move on. Now we move on to the top part. Now if we look at the top part of this chord that I just played, so there's our major 7. There's the top part. Okay, what we're actually creating right there is part of a D7 chord. Right there. Okay, with the 7th. Okay, so let's take a look at D7, which is D Mixolydian. Right there. Okay, so we've got our root, 3rd, 5th, our flatted 7, 9, 11, 13, and then root again. Okay, so as I'm listening to this, there's all the notes I need right there. Okay, and then we move up again. Now I'm on E minor 7, which is the E Aeolian or E natural minor. So as I play this, okay, I've got my root, my flat 3rd, 5th, flat 7, 9th, 11th. There's my 13th or minor, a flat 6, the minor 6, as opposed to Dorian, that had that major sixth, or that sixth we can call it. Now I've got that flat sixth in there. Okay? So it's just cool how you can hear all these things. And then if I take those notes, that starts outlining the F sharp Locrian, or Locrian, however you like to say it, that's coming up next. Okay, so there I'm playing 14, 17, 15, 14, 17, 16, 15, 14. So, which of course we can see right there, it's starting to outline the major seventh again of the next chord, which is G major 7 all over again. So if that makes sense, again, this is kind of a higher level theory thing, but it's really, really effective when you learn how to do this, because as you're playing, if you're thinking Dorian, regardless of all these other things, let's just say you're in Dorian, you could be doing your normal kind of thing, but you might want to throw in that kind of arpeggio to start defining the outline of the notes to make it sound a bit more like Dorian as opposed to simply playing through. If you throw that over the top of that A, you'll really define the sound of that. So it's nice to know your intervals and then decide from there, because you don't have to just sit and play as arpeggios, right? You can, at any time, drop into something. Sorry about that. Play the right note there. And then you fall back in. Sounds pretty cool. So hopefully that helps you a little bit in understanding how you can approach these and think of them as modal arpeggios. If you want to play songs across the entire fretboard, or play solos over different styles of music that people will love because they sound great and look effortless, and ultimately have more fun playing guitar and have the confidence to jam with fellow musicians, then you're going to want to pay very close attention to this message. Because you're about to discover a simple way to play songs and solos across the fretboard that sounds amazing and looks so effortless that people's jaws will drop because they can't believe how well you're playing, without spending hours of your time learning confusing music theory. My name is Steve Stein, and I'm a guitar player just like you. I've always known the fretboard was a big deal, but was kind of overwhelming. I've been teaching guitar since 1987, and I just turned 51. Maybe it's my age or something, but I never really got how some people can learn the fretboard by memorizing diagrams. And I've tried all kinds of stuff like I'm sure you have, and it sure has been frustrating. Like spending hours with my nose stuck in a book packed with hundreds of fretboard diagrams, or listening to someone who's practically speaking a different language trying to explain exactly what I need to know in a way that I understand it. After spending all that time and money, it never really clicked, and it felt like one critical piece of the puzzle was missing. Plus, I've never felt comfortable trusting that I understand or know how to do something without applying it in the real world. I thought there surely must be something easy that helps you to play songs and solos without having to worry about learning every chord and scale. That's when I dug through all my notes and discovered a shocking fact. You don't need to know every chord or how to play all the modes to play the most popular rock, pop, country, metal, or blues songs. You don't need to know how to thread all the scales together to play solos. I realized that you just really need to know triads. A triad is 3 notes that make up prime chords like major, minor, and diminished. When you can see those 3 types of triads on your fretboard, you'll play songs faster than ever before. And you can easily combine them to create solos. Triads are kind of like landmarks on a map. I use them to get from point A to point B on the fretboard, and I know when I play them, they'll sound great, because they're part of the chord and work in any key. When I learned triads, my guitar playing improved tremendously because I always knew where to go. I never got lost and wasn't playing the same old scales over and over again. After a while, I started sharing this with some of my private students. They started getting results too. So I decided to record my exact method and show how anyone can use triads to play songs and solos across the fretboard that sound amazing and feel effortless. And that's how my new course, Fretboard Framework, was created. Here's what you're going to discover. Simple triad patterns that spread out over the entire fretboard so you'll know exactly where to put your fingers. Lots of guitar players seem like they're spending hours practicing boring drills and memorizing every single scale pattern. The good news is you don't have to do that because there are only 3 types of triads you ever have to learn to play the majority of popular songs and play awesome solos too. This 2-hour course is completely online and broken down into short, easy-to-digest videos where I show you exactly how to use triads to play songs and solos across the fretboard. The first few videos explain exactly what a triad is and demonstrate how the 3 main types of triads, major, minor, and diminished, allow you to play creative harmonies and melodies. They're also powerful for playing songs because you'll learn new voicings so you won't be stuck playing big, blocky chords and your guitar playing will sound more interesting. You can even use triad arpeggios in your solos to create melodic lines that don't sound like you're just playing a boring scale. I show you where the triads are across the fretboard so you'll know exactly where to put your fingers. In the last half of the course, I show you how to unlock the fretboard with the cage system and how to apply everything you learned to play over some jam tracks. This will allow you to really wire triads into your guitar playing and help you see the fretboard in a whole new way. You get lifetime access to my Fretboard Framework course so you can go at your own pace, watch the videos again and again until you're ready for more. The videos are short and easy to understand so you never get bogged down with a bunch of useless information that won't improve your guitar playing. Similar good courses cost hundreds of dollars or even $1,000 at Berklee College of Music online. Or you can do like I did and spend thousands of dollars in college learning what I'm going to show you. With all that said, this could easily sell for $1,000. After all, similar courses sell for $14.97. Of course, it won't cost you $1,000, not even $500. Not even $100. You get the complete Fretboard Framework course for just 3 payments of $27.60. Or you can save 70% if you want to make 1 payment of $69. But it gets better because when you order today, you also get 2 exclusive live sessions where you can ask me your most burning questions about the course. And you don't have to worry about making it because they'll be recorded and uploaded so you can watch them at any time in the members area. Another one of the most important skills you can develop as a guitar player is ear training. That's why I've included my Ear Training 2.0 course as a special second bonus. You'll learn the secrets of playing songs by ear and be able to listen to songs and instantly know what notes will sound great for your solos. If you were to buy this on the website a few months back, it would have cost you $99, but you get it free when you order today. And if you order in the next 15 minutes, you'll get my 3.5-hour Essential Guitar Skills course that originally sold for $99. You'll discover all the skills you need to be a well-rounded lead guitar player. This will allow you to play freely across the entire fretboard and get really creative when it comes time to solo. With this course, you're going to overcome problems like not knowing where to start and end your solos, worrying about what scale will sound good for leads, and alternative scales you can use to improvise better solos than you ever thought possible. You won't have to worry about feeling lost or confused because your fingers will be trained to instantly find the right notes without any hesitation. So, to recap, you get my new Fretboard Framework course and all the great bonuses I just mentioned for just 3 payments of $27.60 or 1 payment of $69. And you're protected by our 30-day guarantee. Truly put it to the test for a full 30 days and see if it's right for you. If you don't think it's a good fit, no big deal. Just contact our friendly support team and they'll issue you a full refund or exchange. No questions asked, no receipt required. However, I can only offer this price and bonuses for a short time. After that, the price increases to $199 and the bonuses will not be included. So click the button below and get started today. As soon as you place your order, you'll get a receipt in your email with instructions on how to access the course. You'll also get a spot in the 2 live sessions and immediate access to the Ear Training 2.0 and Essential Guitar Skills bonus courses. If you want a simple way to play songs and solos across the fretboard that sounds amazing and looks so effortless that people can't believe how well you're playing without spending hours of your time learning confusing fretboard diagrams, then you're absolutely going to love Fretboard Framework. And it's simple to get started. You log into the course and watch the first short video, and as you build your skills, you move to the next video, always at your own pace. You can watch and repeat lessons as many times as you need. Remember, this could easily sell for $1,000, but you can have it today for 3 payments of $27.60 or 1 payment of $69. And when you order, you'll also get the 2 live sessions and immediate access to my Ear Training 2.0 and Essential Guitar Scales courses. You'll learn the secrets of playing songs by ear and all the scales you need to improvise solos over any song. The bonuses alone have a $438 value, and you get our 30-day guarantee. But remember, I can only offer this price and bonuses for a short time. After that, the price increases to $199 and the bonuses won't be included. So click the button below and get started.